That did not go well. Just flatly turned us down. Okay, it is day one, week one, episode one of Starting From Scratch. Just moved to Brisbane in the last week from Adelaide. I have lived there for probably the last 21 years of my life, so absolutely everything of my life is there. My friends, my family, obviously, all my belongings. It was a big move, but something that we'd wanted to do for ages and something that had to happen. I think it was a really important part of our journey and what we wanted to achieve in life, and just getting out of doing the same things every weekend and just kind of repeating our weeks over and over again. So the biggest thing for me today is just to start the journey of starting from scratch, like new city, starting a new business, got no revenue, no clients, and I'm going to try and do it as quickly as I possibly can. I want to see how many hours I can put into this and how quickly we can generate some serious revenue as an e-commerce growth agency. I do know how I'm going to do it, but I don't know how it's going to go just yet. Obviously, I want it to work and I'm going to do everything I can to make it work. But my goal is to just document the sprint for the next month, just 1 month, 2 months, whatever it is, and see how quickly we can grow this thing. So I will be focusing on two really key areas, and that's the organic side of things and creating content that actually can scale and go viral and get more eyeballs onto my pages, and then actually creating ads and seeing how they work. So I'm just going to be completely transparent with everything I do, how I do it, why I do it, and see if it works. If it doesn't, that's completely fine, but it will all be a learning curve to me, and it'll be a really great piece of, I guess, content to look back on and the mistakes I made, or understand the reasons why I had success. So there's probably the two big things that I just touched on were the paid content and creating ads that actually catch people's attention. So catch people in our ICP's attention, that speak to their pain points, that resonate with them on a deeper level. So that's one part of it. And the other part of it is trying to grow my own personal social medias. I have 0 followers pretty much. My focus is going to be Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube, obviously. Just those 3. I've tried to do Twitter and TikTok at the same time. I've tried to start posting on all of them, but just from where my head's at and the time constraints, I want to just focus on these 3 as well. I think they're probably the highest leverage ones. So 1,700 followers on Instagram right now, 1,767. So obviously not very many. 131 posts. I've just literally last night started posting what I think are good pieces of content, good reels that I can hopefully start to see a little bit more traction. They're a bit more generalized instead of being really niche in terms of, because I've tried it with other pages and I've tried it with TikTok as well. LinkedIn, 983 followers. My goal for both of these, I think by the end of the year, is 10,000. Or not, I think it needs to be at 10,000. So I should be able to do it in a month, realistically, if I actually had banger content, if I actually had content that scaled and went viral. So by the end of the year is probably being a little bit of a cop-out in terms of putting the goalpost too far down the road. But regardless, I know that needs to happen. So I need to get these up to a higher level. And YouTube, I have 60 subscribers. So I'm starting from 0 across all 3 platforms. Starting from 0 from a client perspective. We do have a couple of clients that we already service, but I'm not going to include them in this kind of process and behind the scenes. I think they can stay there. They will continue in the background, and I'll still work on them, and I still have to do a lot of work with them, and they're great clients to have. But this focus is purely on how quickly can I grow from this day forwards, and run this business up and try and scale it. So my life at the moment is purely sat in front of this computer in the apartment at the moment, trying to find my way around the city a little bit as well, just to try and get a bit more comfortable. My day is pretty much a wake up, walk Rex, go to coffee, go for a run, whatever I feel like in the morning. Plonked here for majority of the day, 90% of the day, and then try and get out again at night time. So go to the gym, cook dinner together. We will go for another walk at night because we're in a beautiful part of the city and there's some incredible sights to see. So that's pretty much the days at the moment. I'm going to start pulling the camera out pretty much all day, every day. Do have a couple of calls today with potential clients that we are trying to sign that have come through on the ads that we launched yesterday. So I'm a day late in terms of starting the video, but again, this is genuinely all from scratch. We're starting from zero. We have zero momentum at the moment. So it's exciting. I will pretty much film all the calls I have. I'll blur out their names, obviously, for their own privacy, businesses, whatever it is. But anything I can show, anything is going to be interesting, or the way that I structure my day, or the way that I create ads, or my thought process behind how I'm going to make viral content, or reviewing content that hasn't worked and figuring out why it hasn't worked. These will all be things that will feature kind of in every video. So that's it for now. Yeah, I'm just going to start rolling the camera and piecing it all together. Yo. Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Is that clear?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Did you message that same guy yet, or is he responding to you? You have reached him?
Yeah, I texted him, but he hasn't replied.
I always just use my phone for the Aussies.
Alright, so that was just a phone call with Jackson, my business partner, who we're running this up together with. Just trying to sort out some of the back end CRM for how we actually talk to prospects, and where we kind of handle all their communications. So yeah, just trying to work through some issues with my phone numbers not showing up, but it's a cool system. We kind of can call people, email them all through it, and everything's inside the CRM. So I think that's a really important part of managing an agency, and especially the prospecting part of it. It was like all that communication, all that knowledge needs to be shared across multiple people, especially if you have partners or team members. So because we're doing it together, we kind of need to know what the other person's doing and the conversations they're having. So that's why we use it. If it was just me by myself, probably wouldn't need it. It's unnecessary. It's an expense that you probably don't need to have, but from where we're at and what we're trying to build, we do need it, and we have a couple of people that use it. The other thing I wanted to show you is kind of just where we're at, and I touched on where I'm at organically, so I'll just show you that. So you can see here, Instagram, 1,767 followers. None of my posts have popped off yet. 30 likes, 29 likes, only just started, obviously. Everything else leading up to this point has been self-fulfilling and just photos. Nothing relevant to my kind of clients that I want to bring in, or the people that would potentially land on my site and have any interest in working with me. So this needs to be a massive focus for me in changing this. YouTube, same thing again, 60 subscribers. I've been posting shorts quite a little bit in the last couple of weeks. Majority of them have absolutely flopped. 6 views, 4 views, 5 views. So the reality is the content sucks, and the content just hasn't been interesting enough to scale. So that's going to be a really big focus for me. And then the last one is obviously LinkedIn, which I mentioned as well. So 983 followers. Again, so many pieces of content have flopped as I've kind of run through them. So got to be a big focus for me. I need to fix it. And I'll show you kind of how I'm going to do that and the process behind it. The only other thing I wanted to show was yesterday we created some new ads and we're running them. That's part of how we're trying to bring in a lot of leads for this business and the business model that we're trying to launch, the agency we're trying to launch. So yeah, we are spending money on Meta, on Facebook ads, on Instagram. We are spending not a whole lot, but enough to make a dent in it and for it to have to work, because it is a big investment. So these are the ads that we've created. Yeah, just doing some green screen ads. The offer that we've got is really good. We've actually, to try and induce, I guess, some interest, or like to try and create some interest and try and get some scale as quickly as possible, we're offering a 30-day money back guarantee. So if a client doesn't see any progress in the first 30 days, which I'm 1,000% confident they will, confident in my ability and kind of Jackson and I to be able to do that for them. If they don't see that traction, if they don't see any progress in the first 30 days, we'll give them their money back. So not many people do that, not many people could do that, but for this challenge and what we're trying to achieve, that's where we're at. That's just how we're trying to do it as quickly as possible. So it's a little bit different. Lots of people kind of teeter around the edges, or they might offer some sort of guarantee, but we're just going really hard straight up with 30 days, no progress, money back. So it's a big offer. Could backfire. I'm fairly confident it won't, so we'll just see how it goes. But yeah, that's kind of just to reiterate where I'm at. It's starting from zero, starting from scratch. Obviously, we do have a little bit of momentum, a little bit of experience in what we're trying to do and what's worked in the past. So technically, it's not from zero, I guess, for someone that has never done this, but this is me, in my personal opinion, starting from zero. I'm starting from scratch, so is what it is. And yeah, just gonna try and run it up. All right, so just about to jump on the first call of the day. Pretty niche product. This guy actually reached out to me through my Instagram DMs. He said he knew me from like 6 years ago. He'd met me in a tattoo parlor. So actually pretty cool that he did that, because one, he's obviously seen one of my ads and remembered, or he's seen one of my reels. I don't really know. I'll ask him, but there's already just a little bit more of a personal connection there. So that's a good thing. The product itself, it's a very niche product in his field, so I can definitely help him in some regards from just looking at his website and his Instagram and where he's at, but it's going to be about finding out what he actually wants and where he's at and what the goal is for himself, for the business. So just going to hang out and wait until he jumps on. It's about to start in a minute, but yeah. Hey mate.
Yo.
How are you?
Good man, self?
Yeah, really good, thanks. What's going on? Nice to see you again. That's probably pretty much where I guess part of the biggest area of growth will be for you, is being able to spend profitably on getting new eyeballs to the brand. And the other part where I see probably the biggest potential in the growth is following suit of someone where they built their business on the back of other people's work, this huge following around their business and around their artists, because they were resharing all these amazing tattoos that people were creating, and they were resharing all this kind of, I guess you would call it tattoo porn. That's how you would start to gain, I guess, real traction and real growth with your product, and how you would gain, I guess, a bit more momentum. Work with you and whoever you have at your disposal to get those videos shot and created, and then start to take over and run the ad account for you. Those would probably be the two biggest needle movers in the immediate term. The website looks cool, but there's always a disconnect between what looks really cool and visually pleasing and what actually converts. And good, how are you?
Yeah, not bad.
That's good. To call today, so
That's quick.
yeah, it was very quick. He'd met me before at a tattoo studio, so
Cool.
yeah, I would just say ad management is a better creations management.
Just change that now.
Yeah.
Because again, it's just
An advisory firm. Like, we don't come in and do all the work for you. There are some aspects of the day-to-day that we would execute on and work with you directly, but ultimately it does come back onto the business owner, and then being able to take what we set out for them and take the strategies and the frameworks that we provide to then go and execute them on. And we kind of oversee that and be a sounding board and make sure things are tracking in the right directions. All right, it's almost 2 o'clock. Had back-to-back calls then. Another guy that probably won't suit kind of what we're doing. I think the business is just too small. He has no revenue and no time to invest. So kind of just pitched him on a much smaller advisory fee, see how that goes. Got another call in like 15 minutes. This one's a lot more promising. I think this guy's a bit of a beast in his product that he's selling. So camera's about to die, I gotta charge that. I have not eaten a thing all day. Just gonna try and quickly eat something and then get on this next call and see how we go. Pretty good start to the day.
Cool.
Yeah, I just obviously, did you get a chance to watch it?
But I did, and thank you for putting that together.
Yeah. Any questions or comments?
somebody to be able to go and execute some of this stuff that I know needs to happen, but we're not able to because we don't have the... Yeah, so that's my feedback. Thank you for taking the time to put that together.
A brief overview of where the direction needs to be pushed from my perspective, and kind of where we can actually help you and provide the most value. We can help you and kind of serve you in the best way possible, and it sounds like it's something that you agree with and align with in terms of getting you onboarded and starting to put some of these strategies into a bit, starting to build these strategies out a bit more in depth and invest a bit of time. That did not go well. Flatly turned us down, so we'll see what Jackson's got to say. Yeah, I did not expect that. Alright, so I'm just on the computer at the moment. Obviously what I mentioned was a big part of how we're going to actually get these clients is through our paid ads. So sitting down at the moment, writing some out. This is how I do it. Nothing fancy at all, just literally on a Google Doc. The main theme that I want to talk about and the messaging is for our ideal clients, so people in this growth stage e-commerce brands that are doing anywhere from $20,000 to maybe $150,000, $200,000, $300,000 a month in revenue, is a lot of them are joining these mentorship programs and these group coaching programs, or they use agencies, and one half of it is the agencies, they've been burnt by them too many times before, and the other half of it is they join these mentorship programs and they're amazing because they get to learn so much, but no one actually still executes on the work that they need done. So if you're a founder in that position, sometimes more often than not, you get to a point where you can run your own ads to some degree, but to the level of experience that you need to scale your business to $1 million a month isn't there, and you just don't have that, I guess, innate experience or the past knowledge. So there is obviously a huge gap in the market. I know that for a fact. I've had lots of conversations with people that are all in the same boat. So we're just trying to craft some of that messaging around that at the moment. So this is what I've got. This is just literally my overview of what I was trying to think about. And then this is an ad I just wrote then, and I'm working on another at the moment. So I'm just going to read it out. And I always read it out 10, 15 times, see if I like it, see how it sounds, play around with the words, and try and get the tonality right. So this is just how I pretty much sit here and bang out scripts and just think about what's happening and what would someone or how would I have felt when I was in their shoes, or how would I react to some sort of call out, like what's going to make them click and potentially book a call. So remembered that I had a friend at 2 a.m. this morning message me about a business idea. She's in London at the moment traveling, so I just completely forgotten all day to reply to her, so I'm just going to reply now. I'm not going to read out the whole email or the whole message, obviously, because it's something personal and private, but the crux of it is, like, she has just sold pretty much out of her business that she'd run earlier in the year, and struggling to find the specific product that she wanted. So I'm just going to send her a voice note now and try and set up a meeting next week to kind of run her through it. The only other thing she said is, like, she's got $100K to invest, but my initial research suggests I would need more to fully launch the business, which to me I think is very, very wrong. So I'm just going to kind of question her on her research and maybe get her to show me her numbers and how she's come to that conclusion, because that's so much money. I mean, if she said 10K, then that'd be cool. She wanted to throw 10K at it, but to throw 100K at something, I think you just don't need to anymore. Like, there's just no need. There's so many tools and ways to test a product and test a market and get tangible feedback before you go and throw $100,000 at a problem or at a brand. So you definitely face value. The idea is amazing. I love it. I love the research you've done so far. Shoot some more ideas to me or some more thoughts before you get back next week, and I can get back to you on that and tell you what I think. But yeah, let me know. Sounds good. Thanks.